I pulled into the station, me tank was running dry. I looked up at the plastic board and nearly started to cry. It didn't say 170 or any price of old. It said, give us your firstborn son or a bar of solid gold. The man at pump number 4 was weeping on his knees. He offered up his wedding ring for a sup of diesel, please. But the nozzle is a highwayman, a robber in a mask, and the taxman's got his greedy straw into every single flask. Oh, it's an arm and a leg just to keep the tank fed, so I'm tipping a keg of the Guinness instead. Tell the lads in the desert and Donald J. Trump to take their golden barrels and to shove them in the pump. I'm done with the petrol, I'm done with the gas. They can take their high prices and kiss me rosy ass. I'm filling the tank with the cream of the stout, and I'm running on Guinness till the barrels run out. Into the local pub and bypassed every pump. I grabbed a stainless steel keg and gave the tap a thump. The barman said, "You're thirsty, Mick?" I said, "It's for the car." And I rolled that barrel out the door to get my car to start. I popped the flap, I pulled the plug, I let the black stuff flow. You should have heard the engine, she was raring to go. She didn't hum, she didn't purr, she let out a mighty roar. And I kicked myself with regret, I didn't think of it before. Then the blue light started flashing and the siren let a wail. The guard pulled me over saying, "Son, you're bound for jail. Your exhaust smells like a brewery, your tires are acting drunk, and you've got a suspicious foaming mess inside your feckin' trunk." "Officer, have mercy, they have cleaned me pockets out. I can't afford to drive a car that isn't drinking stout." He took a sniff, he took a sip, he looked at his patrol. He said, "Pass me over the nozzle, lad, for the good of my poor soul." Oh, it's an arm and a leg just to keep the tank fed, so I'm tipping a keg of the Guinness instead. Tell the lads in the desert and Donald J. Trump to take the golden barrels and to shove them in the pump. I'm done with the petrol, I'm done with the gas. They can take their high prices and kiss me rosy ass. I'm filling the tank with the cream of the stout, and I'm running on Guinness till the barrels run out. But the car began to sputter, and the car began to sway, for Guinness in the engine isn't built for the motorway. So I parked it in the bushes, and I threw away the keys. I bought a sturdy stallion, and he's faster than the breeze. I'm going back to the horse and cart, and I'm selling the SUV. I'm done with all the taxes and the oil companies. I'll swap the four-wheel drive for a four-legged friend instead, with a bit of hay and clover and a roof above his head. I'm trotting past the traffic to a happy Irish tune. Let the petrol prices climb until they hit the bloody moon. At 4:15, I pushed back the hinges on that heavy oaken door. I was fleeing from the kitchen and the smell of boiling fat, for me wife Rita's got the cabbage on, and I can't be having that. I took me usual bar stool, gave the wood a friendly pat. I said the roast beef, same as, and a pint to go with that. The barman looked at me as if I'd spoken Japanese. He didn't move a muscle, didn't even aim to please. He pointed to a little square, a jumble of a blot. I said, is that a crossword or a coffee stain you've got? He said, you scan the QR code to see the Sunday fare. Then you order on the portal and you pay your money there. I pulled out the Nokia, the hinge is held by tape. I tried to find the camera, but the screen is out of shape. No Wi-Fi and no data, it barely makes a call. The Guinness tap is 2 feet off, and that's the worst of all. Just pull the pint, just pull the pint. How hard can it be? I've been drinking in this place since 1963. You've got a tap, I've got a fiver. Let's keep the logic clear. Since when do I need software just to buy a feckin' beer? I looked around the room and saw a tragic silent sight. A dozen people hunched and staring at a glowing light. No banter in the pub, no stories told, no laughter shared. Just fingers tapping glass while the QR code glared. Then out comes the manager, he's barely 24, with a haircut like a poodle and his policy in store. It's efficient, sir, he told me, it's the modern floor plan way. While the dinner's sitting cold upon a lonely kitchen tray. I didn't raise me voice, I didn't cause a bloody scene. I wouldn't waste me breath upon a godforsaken machine. I said, you've got the technology, you've got the apps and gear, but you've lost the very thing that makes a man want a beer. I told him where to put his app, I made the message plain. Then I walked out hungry, empty, into the drizzling Irish rain. I'd rather starve in silence than to go through with this shite. I'd rather face whatever breed us burn to death tonight. Just pull the pint, just pull the pint. How hard can it be? I've been drinking in this place since 1963. You've got a tap, I've got a fiver. Let's keep the logic clear. Since when do I need software just to buy a feckin' beer? Cut to the kitchen table where the fluorescent light is dim. I'm sitting in me jacket with a face that's grey and grim. No portal and no password, just a plate of spuds and meat, and a glass of lukewarm water just to make the thing complete. Breeder drops the cabbage down, I don't say a bloody word. I just let out one long groan, the loudest ever heard. Rita was coughing and staying in bed. Can you go to the chemist, is all that she said, and use the big car park. She told me straight out, don't leave the van sitting or idling about. But I said to myself, sure, she's only a fool. To pay for a space is against every rule. I left it right there on the side of the street, thinking a minute or two would be discreet. I was stuck behind old Biddy, it wasn't ideal. I came out and found a clamp round me wheel. I called up the number and waited an hour while the old Nokia was losing its power. Go on to the website, the young fella said. I told him I'd rather a bullet in the head. It's 150 to open the lock, and the office is closed at 3 o'clock. I went to the booth for the grinder and blade, the biggest biggest mistake that I ever have made. I was only gone 5 minutes, 5 minutes I swear. I left it on the yellow bead, I said don't you dare. But the council put a clamp around me wheel, so I cut the bastard off, let's see how they feel. The sparks started flying all over the place, with a big dirty grin on me haggard old face. The lads from the chipper came out for a look, saying, Mick, you're a hero in everyone's book. I hacked the damn thing till it fell on the road, like a man on a mission away then I rode. I drove it away feeling grand as a king, not thinking or caring what tomorrow would bring. That evening me son called me up on the phone. He says, Da! The whole of the world has been shown. You're on that there TikTok, you're famous and all, and the guards are outside, your back's against the wall. The guards walked on in and they took me away for the bit of a job that I finished that day. Breed just stood there and watched from the door, and I knew I wasn't getting any peace anymore. The solicitor took 300 quid for a chat, to tell me the judge is a miserable rat. The fine was 800, the damages more. I'd been bled like a pig, and that's for sure. 1,200 euro, it's gone in a blink. For a 7-minute errand it would drive you to drink. I was only gone 5 minutes, 5 minutes I swear. I left it on the yellow breed, I said don't you dare. But the council put a clamp around me wheel, so I cut the bastard off, let's see how they feel. Table with me head in me hands, the brokest old man in this green old land. Breda walks in and she slams down a sheet, the ticket she bought for the lot down the street. It was €2.50, I told you before. You wouldn't listen, you walked out the door. 1,200 quid for a €2.50 stay. I'm a bloody old fool, I'll always be this way. The rain was coming down in buckets, I was soaked right to the skin. I only needed 3 small bits before the night set in. A head of cabbage rashers and a drop of milk for tea, but the queue at the till was back as far as the eye could see. Some woman with a trolley load of stuff she'd never use, while I'm standing there in puddles leaking out of both me shoes. I saw the self-service empty, blue lights blinking at the wall. I thought I'll be out in a minute, was I ever right at all? I grabbed the head of cabbage and the barcode never showed. I'm stabbing at the screen like I'm decrypting Morse code. Select your item, says the box, I'm looking for the greens. I'm stuck behind a menu full of organic soya beans. I found the cabbage button, dropped it down and heard a beep. I thought, right, so I'm flying, this is easy, this is cheap. But the machine was only waiting like a snake and saved the grass. It let me have one victory, then it bit me in the ass. I swiped the pack of rashers, but the scanner wouldn't bite. The plastic's limp and floppy and it's folding out of sight. I'm wrestling with the barcode like a man in a bare-knuckled fight. Then I dropped them in the bag and triggered off the light. Unexpected item, says the voice all high and dry. I took the rashers out and looked the camera in the eye. Replace the item, now she's shouting, so I put them back again. Now I'm arguing with a plastic box like a mad and desperate man. Oh, I'm jabbing at the glass and I'm losing all me head. I should have stayed at home or I should have stayed in bed. I don't want a robot voice, I don't want a screen. I'm redder than a beetroot and I'm fit to burst me spleen. I tried to scan the milk just to make the shouting stop, but the whole thing had a seizure in the middle of the shop. The amber light starts spinning like a massive flashing flare, like I'd walked in with a shotgun and said, put your hands in the air. Up walks a lad of 17, his trousers halfway down. He's looking at me like I'm the biggest Egypt in the town. He swipes his card, says nothing, and he's gone without a word, and leaves me standing at the machine like a man that no one heard. €6.45, I pulled me wallet from me coat, and I fished out the 50, a lovely honest note. I fed it to the slut, but the slut began to cough. It spat it back at me as if to tell me, piss right off! I flattened it, I flipped it, I nearly gave the thing a kiss. I've never had a human look at 50 quid like this. It's money, I was shouting, it's got the watermark. They told me these machines were meant to be feckin' smart. The note went in eventually, and then I heard the sound like a load of gravel spilling on the ground. It vomited a fist of copper tuppences and ones. I'm clawing at the plastic cup with fingers thick as thumbs. I can't get a grip, the queue behind is huffing at me back. The supervisor's yawning while I'm having a heart attack. I'm standing there with pockets full of shrapnel and of shame. The nuisance of this shite makes me regret I ever came. Then it spits a bit of paper out, a receipt 3 inches wide. No, it's 4 foot long, me dignity has died. Had to get out through the gate, I have to scan the bloody scroll, like I'm trying to enter heaven and they're checking for a soul. I stepped out in the rain, jingling like a bag of nails, the kind of day that puts a man inside the county jails. I looked at that cabbage and I made myself a vow. Next time I'll wait in the queue, and I mean it this time now. My daughter says, Dad, long time no see, fly over to London and spend time with me. I've driven the tractor and driven the van, but a bird in the sky, I'm a terrified man. But I looked at the laptop, I clicked through the rot, I dodged every meal deal and rental car plot. No insurance, no fast track, no fancy Dan treats, just $9.99 for a bargain bin seat. 2 days before takeoff, I'm out with the tape, measuring bags for the right bloody shape. I've checked it 3 times, it's a perfect sized load. I'm ready for flight and I'm ready for road. In goes the holy water, tucked in my vest, to keep the plane level and give me soul a rest. I've ironed me shirt and I've set every alarm. I went to bed early, it would do me no harm. Sure, I thought I was smart, sure I thought I was cute, but they bled me out slowly from me head to me boot. The price on the screen and the price that you pay are 2 very different things at the end of the day. At the security belt, things started to sour. A man in a glove with the ultimate power, he grabbed the holy water and tossed it away with a stranger's old pesto and cheap hairspray. That's blessed, I cried out, but the man didn't care. He'd throw out the Pope if he entered the air. Then came the gate and the priority herd, like a stampede of cattle for one tiny bird. I'm swept in the current, I'm losing me breath, facing a gate agent looking like death. He pointed a finger, put your bag in the box. I shoved it and pushed it, I gave it some knocks. 2 centimeters too big, he said with delight. Hey, €75 or you can't take the flight. Sure, I thought I was smart, sure I thought I was cute, but they bled me out slowly from me head to me boots. The price on the screen and the price that you pay are 2 very different things at the end of the day. I found a row 27, the seat in the middle, me knees and me chin like I'm playing the fiddle. I looked for me wife through the rows and the heat. She's way up in row 4, a window side seat. Beside me a man with some tuna on bread. The stench of it nearly knocked me stone dead. The seat doesn't move and the table is small. A pillow, a charger, they sell it all. A panini, a perfume, a scratch card or two. There's no peace for a man when there's selling to do. When a trip to Bratislava, the intercom cries, while a man in row 20 wins a €5 prize. Then they're selling cheap perfume and duty-free gin. And me wife's bought 3 scratch cards, it's an absolute sin. We hit the tarmac with a bump and a thud. A fanfare plays loudly to stir up the blood. Another on time, says the voice from the front, like arriving is some kind of marvelous stunt. I look out the window at nothing but clay. Is London a farm, is all I can say. Stansted is Essex, we're miles from the town. I booked the wrong airport, I feel like a clown. Sure, I thought I was smart, sure, I thought I was cute, but they bled me out slowly from me head to me boots. The price on the screen and the price that you pay are 2 very different things at the end of the day. We got to the house and me daughter says, Dad, was the flight very cheap? Was the trip very bad? I looked at me wife as she toasted her bread. $9.99, darling, is all that I said. But I'm staring at the bank app, me eyes in a squint, thinking $9.99 has left me quite skint. I woke up on a Tuesday with a clicking in me knee and a strange suspicious rush where a rush should never be. So I rang the local doctor just before the clock struck 8. But half the county had already beaten me to the gate. The line was busy 7 times before it finally went through. Then somehow I was caller 37 in the queue. A tin whistle was blasting out a cheerful little reel, while a robot voice assured me just how valued I should feel. 40 minutes later somebody came on the line. She asked me for me symptoms, it's about feckin' time. So I listed all me symptoms and explained them one by one. She said, sorry, we're fully booked, try again tomorrow, hun. Oh, you can't see the doctor no matter what you do. You'll explain yourself 12 different times before they look at you. You jump through every hoop they set, then start the whole thing new. And by the time they finally call, you've practically pulled through. So I call up and ask me son to search me symptoms on the web. 5 minutes later both of us were certain I'd be dead. It started with a clicking knee and rash up on me side, but Google had me buried before 5:30. Me wife said, stop reading that, you're making yourself worse. Then 10 minutes later she was certain it was some exotic curse. The neighbor heard me coughing once and offered his advice. By tea time half the village had diagnosed me twice. One said I needed vitamins, one swore it was me heart. One woman from across the road said I was falling apart. I hadn't seen a doctor but the whole town had a view, and at least they gave an answer when I asked them what to do. The following morning right at 8 I tried the phone again. I battled through the hold music and reached the queue at 10. I was bracing myself for another nothing left today reply, when suddenly she said the words that nearly made me cry. We've had a cancellation if you're free at 3:30. I nearly kissed the telephone, such was the victory. After 40 calls and 2 whole days, it finally won the fight. I danced around the kitchen with pure and utter delight. I raced down to the surgery and looked them in the eye, but the receptionist was guarding it like MI5. She asked me for me date of birth and every detail known, the very same information that I'd given on the phone. I thought I'd pass the interview and earn me little slot, but then Nurse Ratchet asked me again on the spot. Now tell me all your symptoms, Mick, she shouted through the hall, while pensioners and mothers turned to listen one and all. I said, didn't I explain this on the phone this morning then? She checked the screen and nodded once. Yes, tell me all again. Oh, you can't see the doctor no matter what you do. You'll explain yourself 12 different times before they look at you. You jump through every hoop they set, then start the whole thing new. And by the time they finally call, you practically pull through. I took a seat beside a man who'd been there half the day. A woman said she'd booked her slot sometime around last May. Another fella coughed so hard the magazines took flight. Half the room was reaching for their masks in pure fright. A toddler licked the coffee table, someone dropped upon the floor, while we all sat there miserable and staring at the door. Then suddenly a voice called out and spoke me name at last, and half the room looked sick with envy as I shuffled past. The doctor saw me right away, I barely sat down. He glanced at me for 7 seconds, then smiled and looked around. The rash is from your washing powder, you need to change the brand. And the clicking in your knee means you've got mileage, Mick, it's grand. I stared at him in silence after all I'd been put through. 2 days on the phone and 1 interrogation too. He handed me a leaflet and he sent me on me way. The whole appointment lasted less than half a minute, I would say. Oh, you can't see the doctor no matter what you do. You'll explain yourself 12 different times before they look at you. You jump through every hoop they set, then start the whole thing new. And by the time they finally call, you practically pull through. The rash was barely serious and the knee was mostly grand, but getting through reception was the true test of man. So if you're feeling poorly, lads, best wishes and good luck. You'll recover from the illness long before you're called up. The postman came on Tuesday, gave my front door a kick. He handed me an envelope and whispered, God bless Mick. I opened up the envelope and the figures, they were clear. The price of my electricity had doubled since last year. I looked at all the numbers and I nearly had a fit. I'd want to sell a heifer just to pay for half of it. For years the price has climbed, it's pure and utter greed. Data centers down the road suck more power than we can feed. I grabbed the telephone in rage and dialed the company, while the automated menu was as confusing as can be. For 45 long minutes they kept me on hold. We'll be with you shortly, you will in your hole. A fella finally answered, sounding just out of bed. He had an accent so strong I couldn't catch a word he said. He said, Sir, I'm sorry, there is nothing more we can do. If you'd like to leave us, that's entirely up to you. For check the smart meter and unplug the TV. There's a mortgage on the kettle if you want a cup of tea. They are drilling for the gas and they're capturing the wind, but the only thing that's empty is the pockets we are in. So I hatched a plan of genius, the greatest ever made. I bought an extension cable of a heavy-duty grade. I plugged it into the neighbor's wall, his outside double socket, and smiled to think of saving 50 quid inside my pocket. But the very next morning the extension didn't work. My neighbor hurled it back at me like a man gone berserk. It came flying through the air. I ducked for my own sake, and he yelled, Pay your own bills, you thieving little snake. Plan number 2 was solar, so I got a quote instead. 12,000 euros for a roof, they're off their feckin' head. I went online to look around and found a dodgy set. 400 quid, second hand, the finest bargain yet. I bolted them onto the slates, it surely looked the part. I stood out in the garden to admire my work of art, but then I noticed the big tree, my own old weeping willow. It blocks the sun from 10 to 4 and my roof is in the shadow. For check the smart meter and unplug the TV. There's a mortgage on the kettle if you want a cup of tea. They are drilling for the gas and they're capturing the wind, but the only thing that's empty is the pockets we are in. just a tree surgeon, he wanted half my life. So I put a post on Facebook just to get rid of all the strife. Free timber if you cut it down, my planet has no flaw. But then a fella in a starlet came with a rope and a handsaw. I should have known, I should have guessed, I should have seen the sign. The willow tree came crashing down on that transit van of mine. A direct hit, a thunderous crack, it fell from such a height. I stood there looking at my old van, it was smashed into shite. No electricity, no van, the neighbors won't speak to me. I grabbed a box of candles just so we could feckin' see. We lived just like our parents did, they told Breda that night. We lit them on the dresser and our room, it shone so bright. It almost looked romantic, so I went out for a pint. I felt I bloody earned it on a cold and windy night. I walked back down the roadway at the closing of the bar, and noticed in the midnight sky a glowing from afar. The fire brigade was already there, the blue lights spinning round. I stood inside my welly boots and stared into the ground. The fireman came up to me, he gave his head a shake. He told me them cheap candles were a hazard for feck's sake. And there inside the rubble where the kitchen used to be, completely unburnt, pristine, lying there for all to see, was the original utility bill sitting on the stone, untouched by flame, completely safe and laughing on its own. I drove into the village on a bright and sunny day, and braced myself for that pothole that was waiting on the way. It's 6 years there and so deep you could go snorkeling. You could lose a small hatchback inside the bloody thing. Now usually I swerve around and miss it by a mile. I drive the road like Lewis Hamilton, Formula One style. But a tractor came the other way and blocked my usual lane. So I hit the pothole head on and the axle screamed in pain. The steering wheel near broke me wrists, the van gave out a groan, and by the time I'd reached the shop me tire was nearly gone. I stood there with the jack and wheel and muttered through me teeth, we pay road tax in this country just to get a load of grief. Well, I rang the county council and explained me sorry plight. I said that hole's destroying cars from morning until night. It's a danger to the public and it's slowing traffic down. At the rate that thing is growing, it'll swallow the whole town. The woman thanked me kindly and she took down every word. She said, we'll have somebody inspect it, which was pleasant when I heard. So I waited through the summer and I waited through the fall, and the only thing that visited was weeds around the hole. By Christmas it was bigger and by spring it had a name, and giving out directions was its brand new claim to fame. Turn left at Murphy's cottage, then continue nice and slow. If you've reached the giant pothole, then you've 5 more miles to go. Oh, the roads are full of craters and the tax goes up each year. They'll take your money gladly, but the repairs don't appear. We're dodging holes and saying prayers whenever rain clouds load. For every mile you travel on an Irish country road. Well, I'd finally had enough of it. I says I'll do it myself. I bought some gravel, borrowed tar, I don't need the council's help. I spent the day there filling it and tamping down the stone, and when I'd finished up the job I felt a pride I'd never known. I drove across it 6 times just admiring what I'd done, and every pass I took across it felt a victory I'd won. But when I came the following morning, my masterpiece was gone. The council dug the whole thing up the crack of dawn. I rang to ask what happened, and the answer made me choke. You weren't authorized to fix it, sir, the council fella spoke. The pothole was permitted, but me repair work wasn't right. So they dug up the bloody pothole and left it there in plain sight. So next I placed some traffic cones around the gaping pit, and warning signs for passing cars so they didn't fall into it. For 3 whole days it worked a treat, and traffic flowed along. I thought perhaps I'd finally found a way to right the wrong. But when I checked on Friday, all me cones had disappeared. The warning signs were taken to exactly as I'd feared. I rang the council once again and asked where they had gone. They said those safety measures weren't approved to be put on. They took the yellow signs away and cleared the cones from view. So now you wouldn't see the trench until it swallowed you. The danger was apparently fine, the warning signs were the crime. And that's the sort of logic that we're dealing with in these times. Oh, the roads are full of craters and the tax goes up each year. They'll take your money gladly, but the repairs don't appear. We're dodging holes and saying prayers whenever rain clouds load. For every mile you travel on an Irish country road. Well, eventually I stormed down and demanded they explain why one small hole required the planning of a railway train. They promised me they'd fix it and they'd start the very next day. And sure enough, the barriers and diggers came straight away. For 5 whole weeks they labored there with lights and diversion set, and every trip into the town became a bloody trek. One fella dug 6, watched him dig, then all of them broke for tea. And somehow fixing one small hole seems like you need a PhD. I had to take a back road that added 15 minutes more, just to buy a loaf of bread or fetch me bits from the store. By week 4 I was wishing that I'd left the thing alone. The pothole caused less trouble than the roadworks had become. Then one fine day they packed it up and finally drove away, and I approached the former pothole with a smile that sunny day. The road was smooth and level and the traffic flowed along. I almost felt emotional, I'd waited for so long. But 1 mile further up the road, me smile went away. A brand new pothole sat ahead, the size of Galway. I hit it with the other wheel and nearly bit me tongue. The impact rattled all me ribs and almost knocked out both me lungs. I made it home exhausted and a letter caught me eye. I opened it and nearly had a fit when I read why. Due to annual adjustments, your road tax has increased. I laughed so hard I nearly cried and poured myself a drink. I stepped off the plane and into the blistering air. For a week away from the rain, a week without a care. The wife told me to wear sunscreen, I told her to relax, while the 30-degree heat was melting me like wax. At 9 in the morning I strolled to the pool in search of some shade to keep myself cool. But a family of 5 had the place in a vice, and they claimed every chair before I could blink twice. A smug-looking dad with a flag on his chest, with 3 shrieking brats putting my patience to the test. They'd taken the front row, the premium spots, while I was left stewing beside the bins to rot. On day 2 my alarm clock rang out at the dawn's crack. At 7 a.m. I launched my attack. In polo and sandals I crept down the stairs, with my faded GAA towel to claim my own chair. Right next to the pool bar I laid it out flat, and went back to bed thinking I took care of that. But returning at 10 I felt like a fool when I saw my nice towel floating dead in the pool. He chucked it right into the deep end for spite, and the rage in my veins was now ready to fight. In its place sat a SpongeBob towel and swimming gear, as he sat sipping Stella and giving me a sneer. Oh, the sun is blazing down and the tempers start to rise, with the sticky heat killing me and the sweat inside me eyes. You can keep your foreign weather, I'd rather have the rain, 'cause it's been a pain in the hole since I stepped off of the plane. By day 3 and 4 I was losing my mind. No sleep would I get, no peace would I find. He sneaked in my bag while I slept on my back, and swapped out my sun cream, the sneaky little rat. He switched it for tanning oil, drawing the heat. I woke up as red as a freshly boiled beet. So I took all his towels while he went for a booze, and zip-tied them down so they never could move. But he bought a big scissors to settle the score, and cut a huge hole in my towel, the cheeky hooer. The bastard went rogue and rolled out the big guns. He swapped my swim shorts for dissolving ones. They vanished completely on my afternoon swim, leaving me stark naked and glaring at him. With my tackle on show and my patience worn thin, I vowed by the Lord that the war I would win. Oh, the sun is blazing down and the tempers start to rise, with the sticky heat killing me and the sweat inside me eyes. You can keep your foreign weather, I'd rather have the rain, 'cause it's been a pain in the hole since I stepped off of the plane. On the very last night I went out of my mind, fueled by cheap lager and vengeance combined. With my skin entirely blistered and peeled, I marched to the deck and refused to yield. At 2 in the morning, under the cover of night, I snapped the hotel chains with all of my might. I dragged all 5 loungers right into the lift, terrified of getting caught, I'd never moved so swift. I stacked them like timber inside my hotel room door, and that flat-chested menace will sneer me no more. But for all of my planning, I'm a foolish all-Egypt. I forgot the security cameras would see it. At 7 a.m. with a terrible shock, the manager gave my bedroom a knock. They burst through the door and they saw the great pile, while that absolute bollock stood in the hall with a smile. They marched me downstairs through the lobby in shame, while the staff and the tourists were cursing my name. The Guardia Civil came to make the arrest. I yelled, "Enjoy the hard concrete, you flag-tattooed pest." Oh, the sun is blazing down and the tempers start to rise, with the sticky heat killing me and the sweat inside me eyes. You can keep your foreign weather, I'd rather have the rain, 'cause it's been a pain in the hole since I stepped off of the plane. Now the moral of this is as clear as a bell. Avoid all the nutters you meet in a hotel. Next year it's an Airbnb out in the sticks, where no one can mess with the holiday Mick. Hey! I ordered a part for me old tractor, a brand new alternator. Paid €10 extra to the courier, to arrive tomorrow, no later. At 8 the next morning, a text message pings, "Your parcel arrives today." I cancelled me plans, put me boots on the mat, and decided at home I'd stay. I took a day off, didn't open the gate, in case I might miss them arriving. I stared out the window till me eyes were both sore at the road they'd be driving. Every 2 minutes I'm lifting the blinds, me tea's gone completely cold. Right, it should be here any second, says I. If the truth of the text message holds. Then I found out the link in the text message sent to a map with a tracking device. And watching that little blue van on the screen became me new favorite vice. At 12 o'clock they were 8 stops away. I was happy as I could be. Then at 12:05 the van was 6 stops away. And then it was down to 3. The little map showed them turning the lane. I thought they were finally here. I stood by the window and I looked outside as the blue icon started to near. I ran to the door with a smile on my face. They were practically outside the gate. Then I refreshed it again and the gobshite was back in a completely different estate. No knock on the door, no ring of the bell. They tell you they called, but you know bloody well I've been staring through blinds since the start of the day. How in the name of God did they miss me anyway? By 3 in the afternoon I was a wreck. Me nerves were thoroughly beat. Every creak around the house had me flying about in me seat. I sat on a chair by the front hallway door like a guard dog defending the state, staring straight through the glass at the gravel outside, just watching the lock on the gate. By 6 in the evening the shadows grew long and all me hope was dying. I walked down the hallway and pulled back the door to see if my package was there lying. And there on the mat, like a slap in the face, was a bitter display of deceit. A sorry we missed you card dropped into the hall. The betrayal was fully complete. There was no bloody knock, there was no bloody bell. There was no sign of life at the gate. They faked an attempt while I'm waiting inside just to hit their delivery rate. Missed me, I muttered, me knuckles turned white as they stood in the cold evening air, just glaring down into the driveway, looking for a driver who was no longer there. So I picked up the phone and I dialed the support with me blood pressure hitting the sky. A computer voice answered, said I had a short wait, which was clearly a terrible lie. Press 1 for your tracking, press 3 for a claim, press 7 to speak to a wall. Then 24 minutes of pan flute music played while me skin was starting to crawl. I finally got through to a human at last and explained the whole thing in vain. She clicked on her mouse and she checked on her screen, then repeated the bloody same. The driver attempted delivery, says she, but nobody answered the door. I lost me own head and I cursed down the phone till me throat was throbbing and sore. The next morning I woke with a text on me phone. Your parcel has reached its address. I ran to the door, but the doorstep was bare, leaving me in a state of distress. I went out the back with a bag of old rubbish, me head spinning round with the sin. I walked to the side of the house in the damp and I lifted the wheelie bin lid. It was sitting right under the potato skins, covered in grease and in muck. Me brand new alternator tossed in the bin. I couldn't believe me own luck. Not a word about where they'd left it, not a knock, not a ring. I paid for speed and certainty and got neither of those things. Oh, the price of a pint is madness, it's out of control. They're draining our pockets and stealing our souls. A pint or two is a simple pleasure in life. Where else will I go when I need a break from me wife? I I walked into me local, me throat dry like a bone. For 50 long years, it's the only home I've known. I pulled out a fiver, gave the barman a shout. How are you, Michael? I'll have a creamy pint of stout. He looked at me in the face and he shook his head. You won't get far with a fiver, Mickey said. I nearly dropped dead on the dusty floor. I told him where to stick his pint and headed for the door. Oh, the price of a pint is madness, it's out of control. They're draining our pockets and stealing our souls. A pint or two is a simple pleasure in life. Where else will I go when I need a break from me wife? In the days of me youth, when the world it was right, a pound in your pocket would last you the night. You get 6 pints of plain and a packet of crisps, and change for the taxi if you couldn't get a lift. Now I look at the drinks on tap, it's an awful shame. How do you order a pint when you can't pronounce its name? And when I complain, sure they laugh at me misery. Since when is a pint supposed to taste of strawberries? Oh, the price of a pint is madness, it's out of control. They're draining our pockets and stealing our souls. A pint or two is a simple pleasure in life. Where else will I go when I need a break from me wife? Cats in power are having themselves a spree, while they tax every last drop right out of you and me. But a pensioner's budget can't handle the shock. I'll be drinking the rain that we get around the clock. They say it's inflation, they blame it on the war. But if the war ended tomorrow, the prices would still soar. It's fair to say, lads, the pub scene is dying. They price up the working man and wonder why no one's buying. So lift up your glasses if you can afford, and pray for a miracle sent from the Lord, to bring back the days of the fair-minded poor, and protest these prices before they want to charge us more. Oh, the price of a pint is madness, it's out of control. They're draining our pockets and stealing our souls. A pint or two is a simple pleasure in life. Where else will I go when I need a break from me wife? I walked into the cafe just to get me morning brew. I stood in line a minute till the girl said next in queue. I pulled a crisp €5 note to pay for what I had. She pointed to a plastic sign and said, "I'm sorry, lad. It's card or contactless," she says, "we don't take coins or notes." I stared at her in pure disbelief, the words stuck in me throat. I like to hold me money, sure I like to know what's there, instead of watching my money vanish to God knows where. Next day I went to town and tried to park me motor car. The machine was glowing blue and white, I could see it from afar. No slot to drop me change inside, they make paying so hard. Just scan the code or use the app or tap your feckin' card. Then a charity collector came and stopped me on the street with a bucket full of nothing but a little screen so neat. She says, "We only take contactless to help the local poor." I said, "Beggars can't be choosers, you'll get me money no more." Oh, why does nobody take cash anymore? They've pushed the notes and coins right out the bloody door. pennies lost. I want copper and silver, me notes crisp and grand, 'cause you know what you've spent with the cash in your hand. I needed to the toilet, so I ran to use the public bog, but the turnstile wanted Apple Pay just to drop a feckin' log. I said I'll pay with apples if you have a bloody tree, but the metal bar just stood there blocking nature's call from me. I went to buy me dinner from a little market stand, expecting old school bartering with cash from hand to hand, but the fella had a terminal attached to every single crate and said you'll have to tap your phone if you want food upon your plate. On Sunday morning I was sat in mass to say me prayers. I watched the collection basket coming down the altar stairs. I dropped a tenner in the cloth to keep me in God's grace, till the parish priest paused everything and stared me in the face. He cleared his throat and shook his head. The church was dead and still. He says, we only take contactless now, it's the Lord's will. The altar servers carry now a little card machine, so tap your Visa for the Lord and keep your conscience clean. I staggered down a little side lane, me head was in a spin. I found a tiny corner shop and decided to walk in. I asked the fella at the till if cash was still a thing. He says, oh yeah, of course it is. Sure, cash is always king. I felt the grandest wave of peace. The battle had been won. I slapped a 50 on the counter, saying, there you go, me son. He looked at it and sighed a bit and gave his head a shake. Ah, Mick, I have no change for that. Is there a card that I can take? I never slept a single wink. I couldn't close me eyes. The heatwave hit the country and it caught us by surprise. The pillow lasted 30 seconds, then it turned to burning cold. There wasn't any breeze at all to cool me poor old soul. I threw the windows open, but the air was standing still. The fan was blowing hotter air, enough to make me ill. I'm not buying an air conditioner for 2 weeks of sunshine, but now I have to find a way to save the skin of mine. Hey! I walked inside a car dealership and headed for the floor. The salesman thought he'd found his mark when I walked in through the door. He showed me all the leather seats and every fancy little screen, and went through all the finance plans for buying this machine. I test drove an SUV and sank into the seat and told him to blast the AC as I drove it down the street. He realized I'd no money when I asked to spend the night, and threw me out into the heat and locked the doors up tight. Oh, this heat is killing me. I'm melting where I stand. I'm sticking to the sofa like a rasher in the pan. You can keep your air conditioners, they're dearer every day. Sure, by the time you've bought the thing, the sun has gone away. The house was still unbearable, I was melting in me seat. So I headed straight to Tesco just to battle with the heat. I walked past security with sweat pouring off me nose, and headed for the freezers where the icy cold air blows. I climbed beside the fish fingers, the pizzas and the peas. For 20 glorious minutes I was as cool as can be. A woman grabbed a bag of peas and nearly had a fit. She says, there's someone in the freezer. I says, close the feckin' lid. The manager came charging out, security in tow. They dragged me by the scruff of me neck and told me I must go. I bought the cheapest paddling pool and filled it on the lawn. I sank into the water with me tighty whities on. I leaned me head against the side and closed me weary eyes. The neighbor's little Jack Russell had another plan in mind. He wandered over wagging like the friendliest little pup. One bite, pop! The whole bloody paddling pool blew up. The plastic walls collapsed in seconds. I let a scream in pain, and it left me tidy whities with a very dirty stain. Oh, this heat is killing me. I'm melting where I stand. I'm sticking to the sofa like a rasher in the pan. You can keep your air conditioners, they're dearer every day. Sure, by the time you've bought the thing, the sun has gone away. I finally gave in at last and admitted my defeat. I bought a portable unit just to battle with the heat. I lugged the heavy bastard home and struggled with the box and got it running instantly. I was absolutely shocked. I plugged the blessed yoke in and the freezing air blew fast. I smiled and said, I've done it! I'm comfortable at last. I walked out the next morning in me shorts to catch the sun. It was lashing rain. I turned the heating on. The summer's done. I was driving through the town, not a bother on me mind, when any scooter shot before me flying past the stop sign. A Just Eat bag came flying and the rider hit the deck. He jumped up shouting, Mister, you just nearly broke me neck. He says I gave a hand signal, you never even slowed. I said you flew across the junction from the wrong side of the road. He says you'll never prove a thing. I smiled from ear to ear. He doesn't know about the dash cam I bought at the start of the year. Hey! The guards landed minutes later, blue lights flashing bright. They barely heard a word from me before they picked a side. One says, maybe at your age you shouldn't drive no more. He nearly swallowed me own tongue and cursed him to the core. The scooter lad was grinning like he'd get a massive payday, while I stood there biting on me lip. I've got me cards to play. I thought, keep talking, son, because your smile won't last too long. The dash cam doesn't tell a lie, and you'll be proven wrong. Oh, I've got the proof this time. They'll finally see I'm right. No more taking someone else's word and calling black things white. Laugh away while you still can. Your luck is nearly gone, because the truth is sitting safely on a memory card at home. A month went by, the summons came. The court date had arrived. The scooter lad was claiming that I'd nearly took his life. Me cousin says, get a solicitor. I said, what for? I've got the finest witness that'll knock them to the floor. I stood there like Saul Goodman, as confident as sin, thinking this'll all be over and done. About 5 minutes in, the judge says, Mr. Murphy, can you prove that he is wrong? I smiled and held the dash cam up. He's been lying all along. I walked towards the evidence desk as proud as I could be. The scooter lad looked pale enough to curdle fresh made tea. Your Honor, says I confidently, The proof is right here, you'll see this clown flew straight across and caused a crash, it's clear. The judge leaned in, the guard glared. The courtroom held its breath. The scooter lad looked worried, he was scared half to death. I hit the button, leaned right back, and let the footage start. Sure that this insurance scam was about to fall apart. Instead of showing where I drove, it pointed at me face. 2 hours singing ABBA, driving at a snail's pace. Me scratching me head, me picking me nose, complaining all the while. The judge just sat there staring with the faintest little smile. The judge says, Mr. Murphy, I have seen enough today. You've mounted the bloody dash cam the wrong feckin' way. The judge says, right then, Mr. Murphy. €300 for the scrape upon his arm, and 34 for chicken jalfrezi ruined on the tarmac. 4.90 for the pilo rice, 3.50 for the chips, 2 papadums, a garlic naan, and 1 mango dip, 1 bottle of Coca-Cola, a portion of onion bhajis, court costs, solicitor's fees, and delivery charges. Ah, for feck's sake! I was sitting in the kitchen with a mug of Barry's tea. Not a bother in the world, a quiet day for me. Then the letterbox came rattling and a brown envelope fell, with a revenue logo staring back, and you know that never ends well. I opened it up slowly and I nearly dropped me cup. You owe us €1,400, you couldn't make this up. Undeclared income they found in my account. Me bank card would be frozen if I didn't pay the amount. Me blood began to simmer and me brain began to plot. If they want their pound of flesh, well then they'll get the feckin' lot. I wasn't going to call them up or argue on the phone. I was gonna make them work for every penny that I owe. 1,400 quid by Friday, cash I couldn't spare. So I thought of a plan that would catch them unaware. I wasn't going to hand it over nice and easily. They'll count every single cent for the trouble given to me. I got into the Renault Clio, drove straight to the bank, and walked up to the counter to start me wee prank. I tapped me debit card and told the girl behind the till, give me €1,400 just to settle up a bill. But I want it all in coppers, I smiled straight away. 28,000 coppers to keep the taxman counting for the day. She thought I was joking till I stood there like a rock, and she brought out 2 big heavy sacks that gave the queue a shock. To me car, me back was feeling sore, and I drove straight down to the revenue office door. I marched right past the people standing quietly in the queue, and the weight of the 2 sacks nearly split the desk in 2. The fella stood in silence and he stared at me in shock, while the people in the queue behind were looking at the clock. He says, Mick, you can't pay with that, it'll take all bloody night. I said, it's legal tender, mate, you'll take it, as is my right. Passed by till the final coin was done. 28,000 5-cent pieces, and the battle had been won. The supervisor wiped his brow, soaking wet with sweat. He typed me details at his desk to clear me bloody debt. Then he suddenly froze, he stared at the screen. He looked at the letter, and he looked fit to scream. He looks at me and says, Mick, your first name is Michael, I see, but the surname on the system doesn't match your ID. This sorted envelope was meant for the lad 3 doors away. You don't owe us a single cent, you're fully clear today. Push the heavy sacks right back across the counter line. I had to haul them back out to that little car of mine. I was so blind, mad with rage, I never stopped to check the name. I'm stuck with 28,000 copper coins, and only have myself to blame. I sat down on me couch with a fresh cup of tea to watch the World Cup on me smart TV. But before the clip started or a single word was said, an unskippable countdown timer started ticking instead. 30 seconds of some lad talking through his ass for some crypto pyramid scheme on making multi-millions fast. It used to be 5 seconds and you'd skip the bloody bore. They trap you for half a minute now, then they load up one ad more. The countdown finally hit the end. I thought me path was clear. The video started at last and I leaned in close to hear. But the fella smiled into the lens and said, before we start, let's talk about a mobile game that's close to me heart. I sat through 2 advertisements just to watch another one. A 20-minute sales pitch before the video's begun. He's trying to sell me VPNs and things I'll never buy. He said he'd only take a minute, that was a bloody lie. Oh, just let me watch the video, why do I have to pay? By the time the ads are finished, you've lost half the day. You skip it, you block it, but you're out of luck. They'll shove an advert anywhere to make themselves a buck. Ahead, right past the sponsorships, ready for the World Cup and the goal highlight clips. Just as it was getting to the best and tensest part, the screen went dark, the audio cut, and another ad did start. A loud corporate jingle started blaring in me face, flogging laundry detergent, an absolute disgrace. By the time the little skip ad button finally appeared, the tension of the World Cup match had completely disappeared. Me son sat beside me and he saw me take a turn. He says, Dad, just pay for YouTube Premium, like I've spare money there to burn. I looked at him across the room, me patience running thin. It's the principle, I told him, and I'm never giving in. They can make the ads an hour long to try and force me hand. I'd rather stare at ads than bow to their demands. I pay for 4 different apps just to see me favorite shows, and where the money vanishes, Almighty only knows. It's costing me a fortune just like the cable did back then. And now Netflix are pushing ads, the greed, it never ends. You cancel 1, you sign to 2, you're chasing what you like. They split the series up in parts across multiple different sites. You're paying 80 euros just to settle up the bill, and after all that money, you are watching adverts still.